Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm your presenter Mervin Matthew. Thank you for joining us. Topping the headlines, Barnabas Abraham is the new chairman of the TETE Village Council. Solid waste management could be a viable business for cooperatives, and Antiguan film to thrill Dominican audience this weekend. All these stories and more when National Focus returns.
Hello, I am Bishop Gabriel Malzer, Bishop of Roseau, and I am Dominica. Are you?
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. Barnabas Abraham is the new chairman of the TETE Village Council. Abraham and 7 other councillors were officially sworn in on Wednesday at the 13th inaugural meeting of the council, which was held on the grounds of the TETE Resource Centre. The meeting was attended by President of Dominica, His Excellency Dr. Nicholas Liverpool, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, members of cabinet and scores of residents of the community. The new chairperson informed the residents that he was ready for the new position, and with their support, the council would initiate projects designed to enhance the community.
I wish to pledge our promise that we will work to develop TETE Mountain, Grand Colibri and Piccolo to the best of our ability. But to do this, we will need the support of the community members. I am calling on the members to support the council. We need their support in the programs that we will be planning in the next 3 years. We have a lot of work to do, and we have to partner with the communities to succeed. We have our road projects to continue. We have our beautification program, and as the outgoing chairperson said, we expect to get first prize next year.
The chairman cited inadequate water supply and poor road conditions as major challenges for the council and residents, and called on government for its help in that regard. Leandra Robin led the last council for just over 1 year following the resignation of the chairman. She explained that although financial resources were scarce, the council was able to successfully complete several projects geared at improving the lives of residents.
The most noticeable include completion and finishing of our resource center with assistance from the Dominica Social Investment Fund, DCIF, who provide us with 100 chairs and refrigerators, stoves, ceiling fans, and 4 computers. Establishment of a telecenter, and also we got internet from Lime Dominica Limited with the assistance of our PAL rep. Refurnish of the resource center road and erection of the retaining wall and construction of proper drainage on the premises to ensure the fortification of the structure. Acquisition of a computer and printer for the village office from Mr. John Fabian. We wish to express our gratitude to Mr. Fabian for the kind gesture and assure him that his donation has been put to good use. Retrofitting of a hurricane shelter and provision of training to a number of committee members in disaster hazard management and first aid. Lastly, the committee of TETE was awarded second prize for national beautification and enhancement competition, and accomplished we are quite proud of and hope to continue to get the first prize.
In the meantime, Parliamentary Representative for the Granby constituency, Honorable Justina Charles, commended the past council for their achievements and assured them that she would assist the new council in ensuring that their 3-year term is a successful one. The Granby MP also noted the concerns of the new chairman about the need for improved road conditions. She gave a commitment to residents that the matter would be addressed. She also commented on successful efforts by government to improve roads in the Granby constituency.
We must not forget that government spent a total of $155,471.25 to improve the conditions of the road in TETE. I want to applaud the chairperson on bringing it to the fore, because really it's of concern to all of us, to all residents, to the parliamentary representative, and to the government. But I want to remind us that we remember in those days when we used to come to TETE MORNE, we had to cross the Bordeaux River, if we remember that very clearly. And when it rained heavily, we could not cross. And it was during the time that my deceased husband was the parliamentary representative. He constructed the crossing at Grand Colibri River. We also remember during the stint of Honorable John Fabian that he worked on the piece of road from the river into Grand Colibri. And as I said, we spent, and probably we have not seen it for all of us who just came up there, we will not see it because most of the money, while we did MORNE money set, was spent in TETE MORNE. So if we go in TETE MORNE, we will see the money that was spent during the time that I came in.
Honorable Gloria Schlingford is Minister for Social Services, Community Development and Gender Affairs. In her address at Wednesday's meeting, she made a call for peace within the community.
Residents of TETE MORNE and all Dominicans, by extension, I am sending out a call for you to be agents of peace. And Council, I charge you with the responsibility of leading your community in initiatives aimed at combating the scourge of violence and crime, which has reared its ugly head in our midst. Let me at this time appeal to all parents and guardians to ensure that our children stay at school. The government has provided the school and resources. We, as parents, must play our part. Let us all be proud patriots of Dominica. Be one another's keeper and encourage love, peace, and harmony in our community.
The Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, in his response to the calls for improved roads, committed thousands of dollars towards the road rehabilitation effort.
I was told that there were 4 phases to the improvement of the TETE MORNE road. We've done 2 phases, and have before me, and I was provided with the estimates a week or so ago for the 2 other phases in respect to the roads leading up to TETE MORNE. And the phase 3 will be from the entry to Mountain Village. Is that correct? From MORNE set to Mountain Village, and that will cost us about $138,000. That amount will be transferred to the council's account by Tuesday next week, God's willing. So you can start work immediately to start completing the project. The second amount is in the region of $226,000, and that is phase 4. That is from Ravenbannon to Powell. And because that road is in the jurisdiction of the Granby Village Council, that monies will be transferred to the account of the Village Council of Granby to implement that aspect of the road, because it is in the jurisdiction of Granby Village Council. And that amount will also be made available to the Granby Village Council by Tuesday, God's willing, of next week. And so work can almost start immediately.
The Dominica leader also made a commitment towards the Housing Revolution program in that community.
I am making a further commitment to you, the residents of TETE MORNE, that I shall approve an additional $150,000 that will go towards TETE MORNE for home repairs and the provision of washroom facilities in some homes. And on the question of housing, and I was saying to some people recently, and even in my own constituency where I'm from, and I live all my life in Vegas country, to what will say that I am French, and I'm from Guadeloupe and France and other places. I spent all my life in Dominica, besides going to study overseas. And since independence, no government ever fixed up one-person house in my constituency. Farmer to build a house. The first government that ever came forward and started helping people to improve their homes and to build homes for people, it is government.
The TETE MORNE Village Council was first inaugurated in 1975. Following Wednesday's meeting, parliamentary representative for the Granby constituency, Honorable Justina Charles, cut the ribbon to mark the official commissioning of an over $300,000 resource center in TETE MONE.
The government made the sum of $327,000 for the construction of the resource center. A center where community members can engage themselves in positive social activities and convene meetings and functions, among others. In addition, the Dominica Social Investment Fund provided in excess of $60,000 for the construction of the computer room and purchase of equipments. It is my hope that all of this is intended to assist in teaching lifelong skills and building human resource capacity within the community. The computer room in this structure will serve to address the demand for computer skills. It will reduce, if not eliminate, the challenge faced by students in doing their school assignments or to learn a new skill. This is one of the many ways in which government seeks to empower our youth of this community and provide them with marketable skills. Fortunately for you in TETE MONE, you have among you persons who are highly skilled and competent in computer technology who can be used as resource persons to teach the skills.
The Cooperatives Division is on a drive to educate cooperatives on the island on the importance of proper solid waste management. This was done for a one-day environmental awareness workshop held at the Public Service Training Center on Thursday. The workshop was organized in collaboration with the Environmental Health Department and the Environmental Coordinating Unit as part of local activities to celebrate International Year of Cooperatives. Cooperatives Officer Rennick Tusa said it is important that cooperatives develop an appreciation for and a knowledge of proper disposal of solid waste.
The environmental aspect of cooperative is one that we should take seriously, and therefore it is important that cooperators and Dominican alike see solid waste management as not just for those who pick up the rubbish, but for all of us. Example, the Believers Cooperative will use coconut, all the waste that can be used to make composting and other stuff, so that and you can sell that for those involved in organic farming. Even we have some cooperatives involved in organic farming as well in Castlebros area, Stars Cooperative. So therefore it is suiting that we have this workshop so that our cooperators and even some of us can learn a lot more about the effective management of solid waste.
The workshop also exposed participants to knowledge on methods of recycling. Tusa says recycling has been identified as a possible business option for cooperatives.
Cooperative could use that opportunity to consider whether we should go into that type of business so that we can make some money too. Because cooperative is a business model that we're trying to promote this year as a viable option for Dominica. And therefore, I wish that the information that we received today and the discussion that we engage in this morning will be profitable and for our cooperatives, and that from here we will see cooperatives going into solid waste management as a business option in Dominica.
Bradley Guy of the Environmental Coordinating Unit delivered a presentation at Thursday's workshop. His presentation focused on themes such as land uses in Dominica and the impact of pollution. The Discover Dominica Authority, as part of the 2012 observance of Tourism Awareness Month, called on tourism service providers and others to be courteous. This was the main objective of the May 5 to 12 observance of Courtesy Week. Director of Tourism Colin Piper explains.
We felt it important to do that because customer satisfaction is of paramount importance to the hospitality industry. As you know, it is an industry where experience is what the visitors cherish, take home, and those are the memories that they have of Dominica and of their visit here. So we believe that that experience should be one that is positive, And one of the ways in which we can ensure that it is positive is that if everybody they interact with is courteous. And by that we simply mean common courtesies, making sure that you smile. That's why we have these t-shirts on saying just smile, kind of an outward cry, an outward call to those who see us to remind themselves that they in fact should smile. We also have certain tips going on on the radio. Tips such as, again, smile while on the telephone and in conversations, because people can hear in your voice when in fact that you are smiling, and it comes across much better.
In other news, the Dominica Grammar School on Wednesday presented the most innovative business idea for the Waitikubuli National Trail. In recognition of EU Day, observed every year on May 9, the Office of the National Authorizing Officer for the European Development Fund, in collaboration with the Waitikubuli National Trail Project, organized a secondary school competition. The objective of the competition, held at the Public Service Training Center, was to generate ideas as how the Waitikubuli National Trail could successfully contribute to the national economy.
In recent times, several tourism-driven incentives around the region have concluded that today's tourists are looking for more than just the sand, sea, and water that the region has become known for. Instead, the need for an experiential approach to tourism has been steadily demanded for, and the call for investors to venture along this line would be advised, as this seems to be a lucrative initiative. This has become one of the most significant trends from a Dominican perspective. This is now recognized by the industry leaders and observers as one of the primary motivations for tourism travel.
Dominican filmmakers and members of the public will this Friday have an opportunity to view The Skin, a Caribbean film with a captivating storyline. The film, to be showed at the Arak House of Culture at 8 p.m., is based on Caribbean mythology and set in the sister islands of Antigua and Barbuda. The Skin is written and directed by Howard Allen, produced by Mitzi Allen, and produced by Hammer Films of Antigua. The Skin is one of 4 films produced by the Caribbean Film Company.
Our 4th film is called The Skin. It is our most ambitious project because it involves a combination of Caribbean actors, international actors, all brought together to tell a very familiar tale that is a part of our cultural heritage. And The Skin tells the story of a young couple who finds a vase, sells it because they're facing financial difficulty, and inadvertently unleashed a sukanya. And you have to see how that ends up complicating their lives and how they got out of the mess that they got themselves in.
The film, which is described as a supernatural thriller, has been shown worldwide, including Barbados, Trinidad, Nashville, New York, and Canada. Television producer and the founder of Hammer Productions, Howard Allen, is delighted to have brought this film to Dominica to be shown as part of this year's Domfesta celebrations. He says his inspiration to write such a film came from childhood stories about the sukuya by 2 Dominican friends who migrated from Dominica to Antigua following Hurricane David.
With The Skin, it's based on the sukuya, and I was introduced to the sukuya by 2 young Dominican boys who moved in next to us in Antigua, and would tell us these stories about this woman peeling her skin off and all of this stuff. And so I always had that image in my mind, and I always had an interest in making films. And so when I actually started to make films, that was one of the stories that I always wanted to tell, because I believe in preserving Caribbean culture and our Caribbean experience. And so I kind of want to do with film what Calypsos did for me.
Howard Allen explains that a significant amount of research on the sukuya went into the production of The Skin.
What I tried to do with it was not try to pin the sukuya down to, say, the Dominican folklore or the Antiguan folklore or the Trinidadian folklore, but just my interpretation of the Sukaya based on that research, right? And the other thing too is I was seeing the Sukaya not just as this sort of spiritual being, but also seeing people as Sukaya. Because there's a phrase sometimes we would say, you know, so and so is a Sukaya. What we mean by that is the person preys on weak or vulnerable people. And so in the film, there are people who actually portrayed as Sukaya in a completely different way, the personification of a Sukaya.
The producer of the film says people of all ages are invited to come and enjoy the film at Friday's showing. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St. Luce for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à ces nouvelles en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, le gouvernement Dominique tient un bon dialogue entre pays Carré Forum et pays European Union qui prend place en Dominique vendredi en Hôtel Fortune en Roseau. Carré Forum, c'est 16 pays Carré Com qui étaient établis en 1992. Chain Dialogue et puis European Union. Carré Forum et puis European Union te rentré agreement en l'année 2007 où la relation qui concerne commodité établie. Il a aussi te rentré un autre agreement politique l'année 2008 qui te prend place en pays Pérou. Dominique c'est chef Carré Forum depuis l'année 2011 et puis il a expecté pour chef toute meeting organisation Salam. Quand même objectif dialogue Salam c'est pour taper et puis discuter information et puis pour comprendre l'autre meilleur. Délégation European Union, c'est Christian Lefleur et puis qui aussi né officier European Union Caraïbes, National Authorizing Officer au pays CARICOM, IDF et puis officier l'office là qui attendait. Yo tient un meeting pour grande préparation firme cela aujourd'hui. En notre nouvelle division coopérative qui a célébré l'année coopérative tout le long l'année salam et puis diverses activités. Il a déjà commencé et puis bagaille pour nous gagner l'école, compétition essai en parmi on l'autre. En aujourd'hui, il a mené plusieurs coopératives ensemble pour discuter management zodèse. Division là collaboré et puis Environmental Coordinating Unit, département santé environ et puis management solid waste, discuter les affaires qui concernent management zodèse. Monsieur Renick Toussaint, c'est mon position comme registrar coopérative Dominique.
Je là nous partner et puis Environmental Health Unit, Solid Waste Management pour discuter Solid Waste Management, comment nous ça manage Solid Waste parce que nous sommes coopérative qui a fait activité pour la délivrer Solid Waste. Et nous avons ça son bon bitin pour ça apprendre ça comment il a affecté pas seulement coopérative là mais Dominique aussi avec Joy là ça nous officier Environmental Health Unit Solid Waste Management et avec nous parler nous discuter activité Solid Waste comment ça affecte business pour coopérative en Dominique.
En même temps aussi, officier relations publiques pour management Solid Waste, Geno Jacob, fait une présentation à ce comment pour recycle zodèse.
Pour montrer le monde qui est en workshop ça là, à Recycling Effort Life or Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation. Et puis, nous voyons un historical commencement et puis history corporation là et puis montrer comment nous développer en différentes manières pour masser les ordres à Dominique nous tenons script là et puis autre script là après nous avons curbside collection system et puis curbside collection system après nous avons recycling effort là on peut dire reuse et puis recycle compost aussi pour faire bien comme ça et puis nous avons dire comment yo même ça venir à bord et puis solid waste pour travailler et puis nous pour faire que nous tous travailler main en main pour faire effort ça là pour chaîne Dominique net et puis pour venir en réalité parce que Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation pas à faire yon comme ça gouvernement yon pas à faire tout bité en Dominique nous besoin tout le monde Dominique mettre effort ensemble mettre toute la vie force ensemble pour faire ça que nous travaillons pour faire Dominique West net et puis propre comme ça c'est ça que nous bon matin comment yo ça travaille et puis Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation et puis gouvernement pour faire certain que Dominique continue rester propre et puis net et puis quand nous continuons à dire pas seulement pour monde qui a venir Dominique, monde qui a visité Dominique, mais premièrement pour la vie et puis santé monde à Dominique.
En autre nouvelle, Dominique qui a engagé un bagage qui pas nourrissement pour la vie ailleurs, quand a bon avis pour changer manière de vivre. Avec cela, sorti du ministère agriculture, honorable Matthew Walter. Honorable Walter fait parole cela pendant qu'il était délivré l'adresse pour te ouvrir Health Center lance de semaine passée. Si l'homme ministre Walter, moun si posé développer bon moral santé, passe bagay ko cigarette et puis alcool qui mauvais à l'habitude. Et de si moun veut vivre long, yo si posé tien bon moral santé en la vie ailleurs. Ministre Walter aussi crié à ses dominicains pour manger et puis boire bagay organique, passe en est pour bon santé, mais bagay économique pour un pays là. Et puis finalement, directeur tourisme, M. Colin Piper, qui a créé assez dominicains pour jouer par ailleurs développer une industrie touriste pays là. Piper fait parole cela pendant qu'il était délivré l'adresse à Congrès à Jeunesse, qui était en place en Caille Culture Arawak en Roseau semaine passée. Et dit tout le monde qui est affecté, si nous tous pas venir ensemble, c'est une responsabilité à nous pour ce secteur-là. Quand même si l'homme c'est Piper, ça fait touriste qui a touché là avec tout le monde, soit ou qui travaille en secteur-là, ou bien check d'autres monde à ou qui travaille à dingue. Habitants qui a produit, pêcheurs, moun taxi en parmi d'autres qui a bénéficié si l'homme c'est Piper. Et aussi fait parole qu'une institution financière, insurance en parmi plusieurs d'autres qui a bénéficié. C'est ça qui fait autant important. Moun jouer pas ailleurs pour chaîne industrie touriste là bien vivant. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson, c'est Luce. Au revoir.
When we come back, we'll bring you a few upcoming events and the government notices. Do stay with us. Time now for a few government notices. The Ministry of Information, Telecommunications and Constituency Empowerment invites applications from suitably qualified candidates to fill the position of Information Officer at the Government Information Service. The core functions of the position include collecting information from various government, ministries or departments to keep the public informed on various current events. Preparing radio television programs in both English and local dialect, assisting with the removal of still photographs, video camera operations and editing of television programs. Qualifications, experience and skills required are a bachelor's degree, diploma or certificate in mass communications or in any other related field from an accredited university. A minimum of 1 year experience in carrying out research, excellent oral and written communication and interpersonal skills, ability to correctly interpret and reproduce ideas expressed in conversation and written form, ability to speak the Creole language. Application forms including certified copies of professional certificates only, detailed curriculum vitae and 2 letters of reference should be submitted to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information, Telecommunications and Constituency Empowerment, Government Headquarters, Roseau, Commonwealth of Dominica, in sealed envelopes marked confidential to reach no later than Thursday, May 31, 2012. Additional information can be obtained from the Ministry at email address information@dominica.gov.dm or pssechousing@dominica.gov.dm or telephone number 266-3294 or 266-3507. Interested public officers should apply through the heads of department. Only shortlisted candidates will be acknowledged. Private candidates who are registered to write the 2012 CXC or CSEC and GC examinations are asked to collect their timetables at the Cornwall Street office of the Ministry of Education before Monday, May 14, 2012. Some form of pictorial ID is required. The Parkes Respite Center at Chance Portsmouth is scheduled for implementation on the Caribbean Development Bank and the Government of Dominica Basic Needs Trust Fund project. Interested and competent contractors are asked to pre-qualify in order to be invited to tender for undertaking the said works. The prescribed pre-qualification form is available at the office of the project consultant, Sorrel Consulting Limited, located on 6 Fort Lane, Roseau. The completed form must return to the consultant no later than 4 p.m. on Friday, May 11, 2012. Only pre-qualified contractors will be invited to tender for the said works. Up next, your tip of the day. Know your diet pitfalls. To improve your eating habits, you first have to know what's wrong with them. Write down everything you eat for 3 days, then check your list according to the rest of these tips. Do you add a lot of butter, creamy sauces, or salad dressings? Rather than eliminating these foods, just cut back your portions. Are you getting enough fruits and vegetables? If not, you may be missing out on vital nutrients. And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or comments. Feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm, or you could visit our website at news.gov.dm. On behalf of the entire news production team, I am Mervin Matthew. Thank you for watching.
Just by water and wind, but there